From the star mentioning that he's not leaving the big screens to him set to appear in a number of TV shows, here's everything you need to know about Harrison Ford's lack of retirement plans. For starters, Ford mentioned that he isn't leaving the big screen anytime soon. Now, the star may be 80 years old, but retirement isn't on his schedule anytime soon. According to Ford himself, he thrives when he's working and finds it fulfilling. He also loves the feeling of being useful and being part of a team.
A joy. It was a joy for me. It was a joy for me to make the film. It was a particular joy for me to finish the film.
When asked about his passion for acting, he revealed that it's the people he collaborates with that makes the experience so special. It's the relationships he develops while on set, combining the shared ambition that comes from the great scripts he's working on. Yup, that's what drives him. Now, all you fans can breathe a sigh of relief because Ford will still grace your screens, but they'll have to bid farewell to one of his most iconic characters. Of course, I'm talking about Indiana Jones, because after this summer's release of Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, Harrison has confirmed that it'll be his final outing as the beloved archaeologist.
You said that you wanted this end to the saga to be ambitious with your character.
Yes.
Discussing the lasting popularity of Indiana Jones, the star acknowledged that it's rare for anyone to portray a character for such a long time. Can you believe that it's been 42 years since the franchise began? Well, nobody can deny the charm of this film as a much-loved family movie. And through it, his exposure to new audiences has been a huge boost to his career and the legacy of Indiana's characters. So hey, while Jones may be leaving our screens, Ford still endures. So it's a win-win situation, isn't it? And hey, while he may be closing the books on one chapter of his iconic career, the star is ready to open yet another one. And guess what? It's one of the biggest franchises in Hollywood right now. In case you don't know, Harrison has joined the MCU. He's reprising the part of Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross, previously played by the late William Hurt. But why did Ford decide to jump into the superhero world? Well, he revealed in an interview that he saw other actors having a blast in Marvel movies and thought, hey, why not give it a shot? It's something different and I love making people happy with my work. In case you don't know, General Ross's character was created by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby and has a long history in the Marvel comics. He's known as the Hulk's unrelenting adversary, and also happens to be the father of Bruce Banner's love interest, Betty Ross. While Sam Elliott and William Hurt have portrayed him in previous Hulk films, Ross didn't interact much with Mark Ruffalo's version of the character, but he did resurface in Captain America: Civil War as the US Secretary of State, pushing for superhero regulation through the Sokovia Accords. In the MCU, Ross has been associated with the military and geopolitical side of things, and that's likely to continue in his upcoming appearances. You can catch him in the films Thunderbolts and Captain America: New World Order, both set to hit theaters in 2024. It's also highly likely that he'll cross paths with Julia Louis-Dreyfus's character, Valentina Allegra de Fontaine, who made her presence felt in Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, and seems ready to stir up some international trouble. This movie continues the story from The Falcon and The Winter Soldier on Disney+. The screenplay is crafted by the awesome team of Malcolm Spellman, the mastermind behind the series, and Dallin Moosin, one of the talented writers on board. By the way, Ford isn't new to movies about geopolitical thrillers either. Remember when he played the president in Air Force One? Or when he portrayed CIA operative Jack Ryan in Patriot Games? Believe it or not, it's not all fun and games for the star, since he recently opened up on the struggles of working in the MCU. Yup, in a recent interview, Ford mentioned that while filming for his MCU debut is underway, it's obvious that it's a bit different from what he's used to. What's more, when he was asked if starring in his first ever Marvel film has been fun, the legendary actor explained that some days are tough, while others are easy and fun. So like any other job, it can be enjoyable at times, but the schedule they have to work around is really tough. And well, even for a veteran actor like him, it's no walk in the park. Yup, newsflash. It's not a bunch of friends having fun behind the scenes like many other MCU stars may have you believe. To him, it's work, and that's it. That's not to say he's ungrateful or unhappy with it, though. The Star Wars actor also explained that he's giving the MCU a chance, because it's something that he feels is fresh for him. And if you know the guy, he doesn't shy away from a challenge at all. I mean, he sees all his co-stars, and they seem to be having a great time. There are so many terrific actors giving it their all in Marvel movies, and Ford wants to believe that he too can do just as great of a job as them. And for the most part, he's happy with how things are going. Let's just hope the fans respond to the role just as well. Now, when reports of his casting initially came up, Ford smartly avoided questions regarding his MCU role. And even once his role was announced, he's continued to be secretive on any details, especially about whether or not he'd transform into the Red Hulk in the movie. If you're like me and wondering what makes the role so hard for the guy, well, turns out that working on the Marvel Cinematic Universe isn't as easy as it sounds. Beyond just delivering on the massive expectations that fans have for an actor of his caliber, joining what is probably the biggest franchise Hollywood has to offer, there's also the fact that he's going to have to fill in for the late actor William Hurt. Replacing the star isn't going to be easy since he's already got fans who loved him in the role. Harrison has to keep the character consistent while trying not to make it feel like he's copying Hurt too much. Plus, it's possible that the star will add a more evil touch to the role too. After all, it's expected that the US president will be creating his new world order in the film. Fans are hyping up the appearance of the Red Hulk, but given Ford's age, taking on the role of such a baddie might actually be tough for him. It's possible that they'll have a different star wear a mocap for his part. But it's likely that Ford will return for the role in the future too, since he's expected to appear in the Thunderbolts. So, it's definitely a long-term commitment for him. But there's another great role that fans can see him in soon, since he's also set to return in Yellowstone's spin-off series 1923. Honestly, the star has no shortage of amazing roles, does he? The second season of the 1923 series is in the works, and it looks like the show's main stars, Ford and Mirren, will be back on the ranch for more cowboy action. While Paramount Plus hasn't spilled the beans on the cast yet, in December 2022, Sheridan casually let it slip that these two big names are eager to continue with the show. When asked if it was tough to get them on board for season 2, Sheridan said that it was quite the opposite. Turns out both of them are pumped to be back. Initially, they only signed up for one season, but they were so hyped to keep it going. Speaking about his involvement in both 1923 and the Apple TV Plus series Shrinking, Ford shared that Shrinking came first, and then soon after that, 1923 came knocking. He took the gigs without even seeing a script, trusting that the folks behind these projects would deliver something good. Little did he know how much work 1923 would be, but hey, at least it's been worth it so far, right? He's stoked to dive into another season of both shows, and I bet you are too. But guess what? Season 2 is going to be the end of 1923 too. Sheridan revealed that the story is going to wrap up completely. But with all the writer strikes, the show has no release date as of yet, and is delayed infinitely. Let's hope both the shows deliver the same level of quality as their first seasons. So, from the actor set to appear in a number of TV shows, to the star mentioning that he's not leaving the big screens, that was everything you needed to know about Harrison Ford's lack of retirement plans.